What the hell is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Who the F Are They? Cyclops Edition! Woo woo! Okay, y'all, so I grew up with the X-Men movie years. I grew up in those prime years, so I am aware of who Cyclops is. I don't know, however, too much of his background. Like, I know who he is, what he does, and stuff like that because of the movies. But let's get right into it. Again, this is just stuff that I'm finding on the internet. I'm not gonna do like a crazy deep dive, so yeah, don't come for me, please. But yeah, feel free to leave me facts and just other cool stuff about this fucking sick ass superhuman. Okay, y'all, this is Scott Summers. He is attacked on his family airplane by a Shi'ar spacecraft. So his parents force him and his brother onto the only parachute that's on the plane when it goes down, and of course he strikes his head and unfortunately lands into a coma. So that obviously gives him limited control over his emerging mutant powers. And after some unsuccessful attempts at maintaining his super mutant abilities, he is then taken by Charles Xavier, and the rest is history. So, Charles Xavier makes him the leader of the original X-Men, and he leads them into battle against Magneto and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So, of course, throughout that, he also develops like a very complicated relationship with Jean Grey. Y'all, this is a very complicated like story because of Jean, but Jean Grey is sick as fuck. But anyways, essentially, I'm not gonna get into the logistics, but he essentially thinks the love of his life, Jean, is dead. So he moves on, meets someone named Madeline Pryor, and they have a son named Nathan. So he retires from the original X-Men and goes, to raise a son. However, he finds out that Jean is alive, and he said deuces to his family and goes back to join the X-Men under what is it, the X? They're under the name X Factor, I guess. Madeline Pryor, I guess, becomes manipulated by some demons, and she becomes the Goblin Queen. Tries to seek revenge, and ends up offing herself. And then his son Nathan gets infected with what is called a techno-organic virus. So Cyclops sends him into the future to survive it. Cyclops and Jean do get married, and they're pulled into that same future, raising the infant Nathan for 12 years before they return back to the present. And there they find out that Nathan has grown into the mercenary Cable. Powers and abilities. As you can see in this picture, Cyclops emits powerful beams of energy from his eyes that are described as optic blasts, which have the appearance of red light, and they deliver massive concussive force. So, y'all, these aren't like cutesy beams just coming out of his eyes. These beams cause no recoil or heat. They are tremendously powerful, and they can be used to rupture steel plates and pulverize rock, or even punch a hole through a mountain. Excuse me? So, y'all, the beams are constantly coming out involuntarily, so the only way that he can stop this is with his own eyelids, so closing his eyes, or what is called ruby quartz, which is a translucent mineral. So that's what we usually see him wearing with his signature cool ass sunglasses. That's the only way that he can safely look at someone without pulverizing them. And then last thing I really wanted to mention was I did not know he had a serious relationship with Emma Frost, um, until I heard the voice lines with him and Emma in Marvel Rivals. So those voice lines are funny. But yeah, I guess they were together at some point. Like that, the more you know. Um, that's crazy. I thought Jean was the only one. Like I literally just learned about Madeline Pryor too. So oh, and then I guess Madeline Pryor is a clone of Jean Grey. I literally just read that right now. Like what the hell? So yeah, to me it's always been Jean in my head. So again, him being with Emma really just took me by surprise. Okay, y'all, but that is where I'm going to end it. Again, these characters are super iconic, and I could be here for days just going over the history and all the different comics and just everything, right? I can be here forever. So, highly recommend looking into Cyclops. There's like a short summary of who this character is. He's sick as hell. Also, love all of the X-Men movies. So, if you've never watched them, you're missing out. Go check it out. Um, I'm so excited to play him in Marvel Rivals. But let me know of anything I missed in the comments. Please teach me. And yeah, you guys have a great one. And that is it for Who the F Are They? We'll see you for the next one. Peace out, Gooners.